yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach, and welcome back to my crochet channel. Today is Friday Fun Day. And so today we're going to do a super fun and simple project. We're going to make sparkle beaded garland. It's going to be super fun and super easy. Don't panic. I'll show you what to do. Now, you can find the complete pattern on my blog, and as always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. So this is my beaded, sparkly garland. It's super easy to make. We're going to be making 2 double crochet clusters and then adding beads in between. It's super fun, super easy. I think you're really going to enjoy making this. And you can make it as long as you want to. It's only about a 1/2 inch wide with our cluster stitches, but you can make it as long as you want to. And 3 of these equals about 2 inches, depending on how loosely that you stitch. So what I would do is I would make it and measure as I go. If you want to make it for a Christmas tree, if you want to make it for the mantle, or just decorate around things, maybe you have a beautiful stairwell with the banister, you want to put that around with some lights, it would be beautiful. And that's why we're using a sparkle yarn. All right, so what do we need to make this beautiful, fun, and easy beaded sparkle garland? Now, I used this. This is Red Heart Super Saver Metallic, and I love this yarn metallic from Hobby Lobby, but I could not find a silver. Now, you don't have to use a silver if you don't want to. You can make it to match whatever you're doing. You could do white sparkle, pink glitter, whatever you want to do. All right, it takes whatever the amount, however long you want to make it, you know. And this one is actually called light gray, and I call it silver, but it is light gray, Super Saver Red Heart Metallic, and you can see it has that sparkle in it. Now, if you don't have any, there is another solution that you can do. You can use a gray or whatever color that you want to, held together with a number 10 metallic thread. And I picked these up in a tube at Hobby Lobby. You can also get them in bigger ones. But this is just a number 10 thread, and it is sparkly. And you just hold the two together as you work, and then you'll get that metallic sparkle if you want it. That's just another option if you can't find one that is a sparkle or metallic. But remember, you don't have to do silver. You can do any color that you want, you know, like maybe blue or red or something to match your decor of what you're doing for your holiday celebrations. You're also going to need some pony beads. I used green, red, and then some heart-shaped ones that I had on hand. And you're going to need, you know, 25 to 30 or more if you're making it a lot longer. All right, we're going to stitch it up with our H hook, which is a 5 millimeter. And you need a needle, and remember that needle needs to be able to go through the beads that you have chosen. And you don't have to use pony beads. You could use sparkle beads. And if you go to the bead section at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Michael's, they have tons of different kinds of pony beads, metallic, you know, iridescent, whatever you want to use. And of course, personalize it for your colors. But remember, that needle needs to be able to be threaded with the yarn and go through that bead. All right? And then the last thing we're going to need is a pair of scissors. So the first thing you need to do is thread your needle on to your yarn. Don't cut it. Leave it attached to your working yarn. And then you're going to need to put your beads on. And I did mine just red and green alternating. And of course, you can do yours however you want. I used hearts and green and then regular red. And it's up to you, of course, how you want to put your beads on. And as we work our garland, we'll be pushing those beads forward. All right. So I'm going to put on some more beads. And then I'll show you how to make the garland. Now, if you feel like you haven't put enough beads on, I like to put 25 or 30. Okay. You can always do that section. We're going to begin with the longer tail so that you can tie it together if you decide you want to make it longer. All right? All right, so I'm going to finish putting on some beads and then we'll get started. Once you have the beads on that you want, we'll take our needle off and grab our hook. Now, I want us to start with about an 8-inch tail of yarn. That will give you something to tie them together if you decide you need to make it longer, but you didn't cut off or didn't use that amount of yarn, okay? Maybe you've made it and then you go to put it on your mantle and you're a little bit short and you want to add some more to it. So it's nice to have that little extra piece in case you need it, all right? So we're going to start with a slip knot. We're going to chain 4. Let me move those beads back so they're not making so much noise. All right, so now we're going to work in the 4th chain from the hook, and we're going to stitch that 2 double crochet cluster. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to go in that 4th chain and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and only go through the first 2. Now we're going to yarn over, go in that same chain and pull up a loop, yarn over and only go through the first 2. You'll have 3 you'll have 3 loops on your chain. Yarn over and go through all 3 of those loops. And then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I'm going to push my beads forward. Grab out some more yarn here. And we're going to repeat what we just did. Yarn over, go in the 4th chain, pull up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over and only go through the first 2. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 3 and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you look at it, it's going to look like a 3 double crochet cluster because we're counting this chain 3 as part of that double crochet or as a double crochet. But we're only stitching a 2 double crochet cluster. And so you get these nice little bumps of yarn. Okay, let's do one more. Yarn over, go in the 4th chain, pull up a loop, yarn over and only go through the first 2. Yarn over, go in that same chain, pull up a loop, and again yarn over and only go through the first 2. You'll have 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3 and chain 1. We're going to grab one of our beads and pull it forward. And then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops. 5. All right, and so that's how it looks after the first 3 clusters in a bead. So we have 3 clusters, we chained 1, we pushed a bead forward and chained 5. So now we're going to repeat what we did here. So get some more yarn out here. We're going to go in that 4th chain, yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. Yarn over, go in that same chain, pull a loop up, yarn over, and go through the next 2. Now we're going to yarn over and go through the next 3 and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And repeat. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll repeat one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have 3 more clusters. We've chained 1. We're going to push a bead forward and chain 5 and repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll stitch 3 of those clusters. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And chain 1, push our next bead forward, chain 1 and repeat. Whoops, there we go, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so now you can see as we work, let me turn this way so you can see the beads. We're just adding every 3 clusters. And you'll continue to repeat it just like this. You'll make the 3 clusters, chain 1, push a bead forward, and then chain 5 and repeat the 3 clusters. And it makes a really fun, not quite a puff stitch, but enough to make it look super pretty. And of course, I don't know if you can see the sparkle on this, but it's so pretty. And when you put it with a row of lights, it's even prettier because the lights will bounce off the sparkles. All right, and so you'll continue this until it's the length that you want. When you get to the end, you want to end with just 3 of the clusters. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So I'll make those 3 clusters. There we go. There's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go in the 4th. Make our clusters. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've ended. Let's say this is as long as I want my garland. We don't add a bead, we just tie off. And we want to tie off with a little bit of yarn at the end so that we have something to tie to the next one. For instance, here's the one I've already made that's really long. Let's say it's not long enough. Then I can take the end of this and tie it just like this and join it together so that I can make it longer. All right? And that's why I want you to have just a little bit of room on the end. And if you want to add a bead so that there's a bead in between, you certainly can. It's kind of up to you and what you want to do with your garland. You can choose your yarn, you can choose your beads, you can choose your sparkle, you can choose your length. Lots of possibilities there. I love a pattern where we can make something and we can use our creative juices to make it work for us. So that is our sparkle garland with beads, silver sparkle beaded garland. Super easy, super fun, and I hope you'll make some for your holiday and Christmas decorations. Isn't that a lot of fun? I think it's just beautiful. It's all sparkly, it's all red and green, nice and Christmassy, and I just love it. I can't wait to decorate with it.